everyone. Welcome to this special episode of Dice and Pen. Our penmeister is not feeling well today, so you get a special get to know the players. Uh, we don't have everybody here today, but we do have myself, Amber. We have Cameron, Karma,
Hello.
and Invader. So,
Kids, remember, doing crack cocaine is not good. Do bath salts instead. That shit'll get you a better high.
It started off. Yep. Okay. Yep. Once again, we need to remind everyone: please do not follow any advice. Well, follow the first half of that advice for once.
I actually don't know what bath salts are.
uh, so
I thought they were bath bombs, but then like in context, I'm like, oh no, it sounds like a drug. So I guess they're
Well,
different.
they're essentially a thing you put in the bath to like aid with like your skin, but they could also be used as a drug, and you get a real fucked up high from them.
Oh, so it is a bath
so they are
bomb.
actually not the same thing. Please do not snort the stuff you dump in your bath. Uh,
Isn't bath salts what you give people who've passed out?
No, those are smelling salts. Bath salts are MDMA.
Ah,
I need
man,
to
I gave us a real good starter today, boys.
And as somebody who grew up with a drug addict's parent, please don't do any of this.
Coming from someone who came from an alcoholic mother, do not take my advice literally. It's all jokes.
cause you to have an out of body experience. That's crazy.
Yeah, it was a bit crazy. There was a bath salts craze back in 05, 06, I think. Y'all would have just been babies.
Uh,
Ma- yeah, you were still a baby.
I was 9.
As I said, um, and someone in Florida decided to show off somebody else's face.
Yeah, maybe. Ouch.
That being said, uh, so Invader has joined us on Behind the Screen many times, so a lot of the players have gotten to know them. Um, but Karma, would you like to introduce yourself? Tell us a little about you.
Yes, my online name is Karma, but my real name is Vladimir. You can call me either way. I don't really care. Um, I guess D&D related. This is only my second time playing, and the last time that I played was I want to say like 3 or 4 years ago. So I guess I'm still kind of new to it, but it's been
Uh,
pretty fun otherwise.
So, Vlad, first question is for you. The rest of us have already answered this. What is your go-to game snack?
Game snack. Oh wow. I actually don't really like snacking a lot. I'm not like a huge snack person. I have like a really small appetite, so anytime that I do snack, I just end up not eating dinner, which is not good for me. But if I do have to snack on something, I usually get um that bag of like little mini Reese's cups. You know those?
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, I love those. I just love peanut butter and chocolate.
There is always a bag of Reese's cups in my freezer.
Yeah, I have some in there right now.
God, dude, frozen Reese's cups are the shit. Like, on God.
They are. They're the only exception to the my snack rule.
All right. So, this one's for everyone. What is your character's catchphrase?
Catchphrase.
There's a good little toy.
Yeah.
I think Rion's is just squawk.
I feel like my character, the way I try to play them, is kind of like I guess nonchalant. So I feel like their catchphrase would probably be like, "It is what it is."
I feel
When
like. I'm sorry.
No, I was about to ask you, what's Patches?
I feel like Patch wouldn't have a catchphrase, but I feel like he would say he has one, and just to keep up a bit, he would constantly change it just to annoy people and make it the most annoying saying just to get under people's skin.
His catchphrase
Like,
depends on like who it annoys the most.
I feel like the closest thing he would have to like an actual catchphrase are like the nicknames he comes up with for the other characters, but like, would that really count?
I mean, yeah. It's not so much a catchphrase as a catch action, but I'd still think it's
Ah,
the same thing.
then yeah, I'd say the nicknames he comes up with. So far, I've only thought of an uncreative one for Laeya, but we'll see where this ball rolls. I pull those out of my ass every session.
I mean, Leah is tiny, so I can give you an entire list of them. Um, I am a short person in real life. One of my favorite ones is I'm not short, I'm fun size.
If don't give that to Laia, she will use that in every way possible.
Exactly. Does your character have a birthmark?
Well, they do now.
Oh, what is it?
I'm gonna be super original and just say that they have some like red markings on the back of their head that you can't see because of their hair. Just because I also have that same birthmark.
Nice.
I've,
Would this be when he was human or while he's currently a pumpkin?
Take your pick.
Human, I'm gonna say he has the same kind of birthmark that I do, which is like a weird round spot on the center of his back.
Convenient shape like
Um,
a pumpkin.
as a pumpkin, less a birthmark, but he does have like a straight like line that goes across his neck.
Wait, I actually didn't know this. Patches was previously human.
Yeah, didn't wasn't that established as in one?
that was
Yeah,
I
it
established.
think,
was.
yeah,
Yeah,
I just forgot. I have a really bad memory.
That's
Can
fair.
always go
That's
back and
fair.
listen.
But yeah, that's kind of why he's like in the that's why he kind of takes orders from like the shadowy figure.
Hmm.
Makes sense.
But yeah, pumpkin. I do envision that he has like it wouldn't qualify as a birthmark, more a scar, but like it appeared like when his new body appeared.
I mean, if
Um,
it appeared when his new body appeared, that's literally a birthmark.
I say it's both because the birthmark is literally the scar of when his head was cut off and
That
by
makes sense.
via guillotine. He covers it with like his like worn out like his like a dried like what do you even call his shirt like his dried up like scarecrow top. It like covers his like neck, but like I envision it looks like the plants that are on his neck are like it's like slightly lighter than the rest of the green on his body. Yeah.
Nice.
I've never thought of giving a character at all a birthmark. I do think Laeya has a beauty mark. I'd say she has a beauty mark on her left cheek. But otherwise, no, she doesn't have one. Well, maybe she could have one as a result of being born to nobility. Maybe she's got like a, I don't know, like a spider somewhere, which is why she has an obsession with them, rather than just being drow.
Nice.
You could pull a Breath of the Wild and make a joke that she has a spider birthmark right on her left ass cheek.
The fuck?
It-
Who has that in Breath of the Wild?
Papaya. She has a papaya seed
Oh,
birthmark right on her left butt cheek.
what the?
Yeah, I think the only thing that Rionn has, if you look carefully on her left wrist, the inside of her left wrist between the feathers, there is a couple of bright green dots. Nobody knows why they're there.
They're
Squawk.
just some leftover Skittles.
All right. What's your character's favorite spell? I think we all know that Rionn's favorite spell is Moonbeam.
Yeah, that is.
Yep.
I think right now it's the I forgot what it's called. It's the one that gives me like an extra D4 to damage. It's like radiant something.
Oh, not bless.
Bless does that. A couple of other ones do that too. Bless is the most common though.
I think it is blessed. Anyways, that one. Just because the first time I used it, I was literally one-shotting enemies.
Nice.
This guy's self.
I'd I'd say vicious mockery.
Who's surprised?
I Karen
Nobody.
a big bad evil to death.
Yeah, that's hilarious. I like the fact that you can just laugh at someone they take damage. Divine Favor, that's what it's called. That's my favorite spell right now.
Okay, this one is for both the players and the characters. What is your favorite vegetable?
Mm.
God damn it.
Yeah. Are potatoes vegetables?
Yes.
Yes.
Technically.
I love potatoes. I love any type of potato. Like, it's my favorite side to go with any like meal. I like mashed potatoes. Like my mom, the way she makes them, she like cuts them into like really thick slices, and then she just like fries them for a little bit. Not like to the point of like French fries, but just so that they're cooked all the way through. They're really good.
Nice. That sounds good.
Hmm.
So almost like British thick cut chips.
Yeah, but like the outside isn't fried and crispy. It's just soft the whole way around. It's really good. As for my character, are there any like cool in-universe vegetables that I don't know about?
We've not really touched on what's in universe and what's not food wise.
Anything's food if you're brave enough.
All right, Edgelord.
I mean,
Oh
there's
wow.
definitely a lot of extra stuff that could potentially show up.
Zucchini.
I mean, the joke for Laeya would be either the cucumber or the aubergine. Sorry, eggplant, American.
It's gonna come out one of these days that Laeya's actually A's.
Um, I mean, as an ace player, I am for some reason the horniest person in game, which makes no sense.
None at all.
Hey, I'd be beating you if Patch wasn't canonically 13.
Yeah. I have to go with the potato as well. I mean, to quote everyone's favorite character, boil 'em, mash 'em, stick in a stew.
It's just so versatile, you know? Like, how can you not like any type of potato?
Exactly. They
There are
are
some people out there.
yeah, and they're wrong. The Peruvians are
I
insulted by these people.
I guess for my character, I'll just say like squash or something. I don't know. I like squash.
Squash is good.
It can be good if done properly.
I like
I
green soups.
have a few favorite vegetables. Potato is definitely like on the top.
It's just the best vegetable.
Mashed potatoes, home fries, loaded, just fuck man. Um,
I have been known to just have a baked potato for dinner.
Yeah, literally. I've done that
honestly.
before.
But
I mean,
if I had to pick another one, I'd say onions. I fucking love onions.
onions are good.
And garlic.
Onions are
I could eat a whole thing of garlic raw like a fucking apple.
That's an interesting one.
I think for Laeya, it would definitely be. I think for Laeya, it would be carrots. But specifically the purple carrots that used to exist before they all got turned orange for the Dutch.
If you were to ask Patch this question of what his favorite vegetable was,
Does that
he would
technically?
look he would look you in the eyes and say, "Well, my parents don't move anymore, so they count as vegetables. So I'd have to say them."
I love it. I absolutely love it. Um,
So, I
so
was about to.
I'm
I was about to say, is
I,
it actually kind of bad to ask Patch what his favorite vegetables is? I would imagine Patch's favorite, not least favorite at the moment, is actually pumpkin.
yeah,
Okay, you want the genuine answer of what his favorite vegetable is? Because there is actually an answer.
you know what? Yes.
Sweet corn. Anything with corn. He loves corn. And
Because he's so corny.
there is a little reason behind that. It's because he loves cornbread. It's his favorite sweet.
Nice. Nice. Um, so as a player, I'm a little weird. My favorite is actually broccoli.
Oh no, I'm with you there. Broccoli's amazing.
Potatoes are a very close second, however. Um, as a character, if nobody has caught on to this yet, Rionn's vegetarian. So if it grows in the earth, she will eat it. Um, but I think her favorite is probably the Hecathan doom radish, just because. I mean, how can you go wrong with something named doom radish?
Exactly. I'm just imagining like it's the middle of fall and like leaves are falling down and Rionn just like opens her mouth for a little snack.
She probably would. Chirp totally would too.
Yes.
Assuming he's not trying to fight something.
Everyone's favorite murder sock.
Although that's horrible.
Oh,
I am actually working on making a plush chirp. So
Hell yes.
I will show it off when it's done. And for our listeners, once we get up to 100 members on Discord, I will be making a second one to give away. So come join our Discord, hang out with the players.
come give Invader more ammunition.
Please don't give Invader more ammunition. After
I
our 3
definitely
a.m.
won't eat.
discussion,
Fuck right. The 3 a.m. discussion.
I went full fucking Ravenclaw last night, and it was just the fuck.
Unironically, that was actually a really interesting conversation, though.
It really was. But we will leave that conversation to the imaginations of our listeners for now. Oh, here's another fun one, both for players and for characters again. What's your dream vacation?
Already had it to be with you.
Aww.
Okay.
I mean,
Sorry.
unfortunately, we're 5,000 miles apart. And you've been dating for over a year, you get a little sappy sometimes.
Hey, no, I kid. Y'all two are genuinely really cute.
I think for
Apart
me,
from,
sorry, me
go ahead.
personally, I really want to go to like the Pacific Northwest, just where it's like always cloudy and rainy, because I just love that kind of weather, like foresty, rainy. So I'd probably go to like Washington or Oregon and just go on like hikes or something. Um, as for my character, probably want to say like somewhere coastal where it's like always sunny.
In Philadelphia.
Especially
Born and
Philadelphia.
raised. Drop it.
On a playground?
Right.
Oh, okay.
At least I'm not the only one who kept going.
I would say as well as myself, apart from being with Amber, the other major place I would like to go is I suspect Amber would love to come along with this as well. Is a trip around the Mediterranean, just to
That could be
learn
fun.
about the um, the Roman Empire and the Greek city-states and what came before them.
Yeah, for those who haven't figured it out, Cam and I are both huge history nerds. So in real life, my dream vacation is Scotland. I've been wanting to go my entire life, and stuff keeps getting in the way. One of these days, though, my health will behave, and I will get to see at least part of it. But I think for around somewhere high up in the mountains, preferably somewhere with lots of tree houses and places high up off the ground.
I'm gonna say, like, in all honesty, I am so glad I'm not the only one whose dream vacation would be to go to like places to like admire like the architect and like just see where something from the past happened. I am so glad I'm not the only one here. Um if I had to pick for me, my default is I always say I would want to go to Paris and just experience like the architecture and like the art. But like that's always my default answer because I always try to hide the nerdy answer. The
Here,
real
run a
nerdy
D&D
answer
podcast.
is
Give us the nerd answer.
yeah, yeah, I mean I would love to go to Paris, but the real nerdy answer is I would love to go on a cross-country trip to basically all the places some of the most iconic horror films have been filmed or were based upon. Like I want to
Well,
go to the actual place Camp Crystal Lake was the place that inspired Nightmare on Elm Street.
Nice. I can agree to that. That's
I actually got to
I
take Cam to a couple of places that were in Hitchcock films.
yes. We also I have I can confirm that at one point I walked the walls of King's Landing from Game of Thrones. Accidentally walked onto. They were actually filming the first season when this happened. We walked past. We actually walked through the sound and audio and video tents that they'd set up because the street wasn't cordoned off. So we walked along the walls in Valletta in Malta, where they filmed the first season of Game of Thrones for all the King's Landing stuff. Didn't know what was happening. I jokingly said, "Oh, they must be filming a rom-com." Boy, was I wrong when I discovered.
Nope.
I mean, the stuff with the Lannisters could be qualified as a rom-com,
Yep.
and that's all about Game of Thrones. I know 'cause it's the show.
Never has a show been dropped so hard by its fan base. Rightfully so, but still.
Right. I mean, it does happen from time to time. That being said, for architecture and art, you want to go to Milan and Rome.
Those are also dream vacations. I'm
One
gonna
of
be a
these days,
hundo. Go ahead there.
just saying, one of these days I will actually make it to Milan. I have friends out that way that I would like to see.
Oh my god, that reminds me. I wanted to go to New Zealand. One of my like old online friends that I played D&D with a couple years ago is from New Zealand.
Nice. You were saying, Patch?
Uh, I'm gonna be a hundo. The dreamiest dream vacation I have, like, if I can get everything in order and like, what if that'll ever happen? I want to travel the world. That's my dream vacation.
That would be awesome.
Um, Patch though. Much like every answer I have for him based on in character, he would have a joke answer, which he would just say, where I can go, where I could fuck with you. That's what he would tell people if you asked.
Yeah.
Anywhere that's in great proximity to fuck with you. Boop.
And he would boop them on the nose.
Yes, he would. With his weird wooden stemmy hands. His actual answer would be, and this is going to be sad, My dream vacation would be somewhere where people would actually like me.
That is sad.
Well, if nothing else, Patch has become Rionn's favorite person. So there's somebody that likes him.
And Laeya likes him too.
Can I tell you guys a little canon fact?
Of course.
If you were to say that you're his friend, you want to know how he'd respond?
I don't have friends.
Why?
No. What was that word you said? I've never heard it before.
Oh,
Yeah, we're keeping
Genuinely, he
Patch. We
does
are
it.
we are like Rihanna's gonna end up adopting Patch, and she's Patch's new big sister. That's all there is to it.
I mean, technically you can, because he is a child, technically. But
It's bad.
genuinely, he doesn't know what the word friends means because he never heard it.
poor buddy. I actually never answered for Laeya what the what her location would be. For me, it would with Laeya, it would probably be somewhere that she could just get to perform, and somewhere as far away from her home as possible. Animaniacs?
Trying so hard not to laugh.
All right. Uh
Just as
Packer, is that you?
somewhere far away from her family, from her home as possible. Do-do-do.
That was good
you know
timing.
what? It happens. It happens. Um Another one, both for players and characters. What hobbies? What are your favorite hobbies? Outside of gaming, obviously.
Writing. I fucking love writing.
What do you write?
Mainly because it helps quell my ADD. But what I write, I've for years I wanted to develop my own show, my own animated series, and typically that's what I write. Aspects of lore that I would want in the show, ideas for story beats, scenes that I want to build up to make them have as much impact as possible.
Nice.
That is my genuinely, like, anyone who asks what my favorite hobby is, it's writing. Second only to playing games.
Does Patch have any hobbies?
Fucking with people, I would assume.
Well, yeah.
So aside
I
from
mean,
that, I suppose.
Patch is a teenage boy. We should expect nothing less.
Um, I'm trying to think. I genuinely like being on this version of me, this version of like a recording session, because it makes me think of deeper aspects I wouldn't think of with the character.
It's fun to do
Um,
once in a while.
yeah. Um, Honestly, I do think fucking with people would be his genuine answer if it was asked, but I do think he would have a hobby be that he was mildly interested in when he was alive, but never got to partake in it because he was always being punished for, being the little prankster that he was in his life. If I had to say what would it be, he gives me the vibes that in his off time when he has nothing to do, he gives me the vibes that he would like to whittle wood.
I could see that. I could definitely see that. I mean, we know Laeya loves playing music. No, even when she's not in combat or whatnot.
I think for Laeya, I mean, obviously playing music, but I think her main thing would be that she wants to compose a symphony at some point.
That's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
As for myself, writing as well, whenever my ADHD lets me. Video games, watching shows, hanging out with my girlfriend. I am turning the schmoozing to 11 today.
You don't suck up. You're not in trouble.
Yet. um, yeah, and also just learning random crap that winds up in my head and going, why do I now need to know this? I now know this. Okay.
What about you, Bud?
For me, I like playing music, like just instruments. I was in band. When I was in high school. I played percussion, so that's the main thing that I like. I know a little bit of piano and a little bit of guitar, so every once in a while I'll just pick that up. For my character, I feel like they'd like whittling. I tried whittling a couple weeks ago, and I feel like they would like that too.
Whittling is fun.
Yeah,
I've done it off and on throughout the years.
very therapeutic.
It definitely can be. Being able to stab at something repeatedly until it looks like what you want it to look like.
Yeah, yeah, that's what my character does.
Should I be worried?
So, yes. So I crochet a lot. Usually, I've been taking a break from it lately, but I'm starting to get back into it. I do write a bit, and I also sing, although not as often as I would like these days, because I keep losing my voice. But I think for Rionn, um, Rion's the type to sit and do something quiet. She probably draws, I think.
I can see that.
Yeah, I can see her sketching and stuff in her quiet time. She definitely keeps a journal too. So here's a fun one. And I know that there is an answer to this for Patch, so I'll let him start. What is the one item your character always has on them?
I actually like this one because I actually have a item. No, I'm just making it up. Let me pull that up real quick, actually. My character has a brooch of shielding, which in lore reason, um, so my character was victim to multiple null attacks, and in the last one, he was a soldier in that town, and it again was overrun by gnolls, and that brooch of shielding was given to him by his captain, who had basically kind of raised him and trained him, and that's the only really thing that he has left from, I guess, his past life as a soldier.
So, I actually thought of the reason as to why it would be what it is for Patch.
Okay.
Since the last time, because like Zane suggested, like it has the souls of his dead parents in it, and it's like that's fun, but it's like
Also kind of
the idea.
disturbing.
It would be a Patch move, though. It would be.
Fair.
But my idea was it stated that the place he grew up didn't really do magic, but there were a few artifacts there, here and there. So, my idea is that he found that hat on a scarecrow, along with the rest of his clothes. Then the farmers who put that hat on the scarecrow did not know that it was a hat of holding. Or maybe the guy. See, that's my idea. And the reason he keeps it on and why the hat is so important to him among anything else he wears. Actually, probably his whole outfit is probably as important, but the hat's probably the most important to him. Is because the outfit and in turn the hat makes him feel human. Whilst he hated feeling constantly scared and alone when he was a human, he does miss feeling himself.
It's understandable.
His flesh, his own body. Because at the end of the day, this is alone. His body's alone. It's not even his. His died because his father put him on trial for magic. So his ensemble is his way of feeling human. He wears the hat to cover the stem because that's the part of him that he feels is the most inhuman.
Not the jackal in the face.
Well, yeah.
That too.
I
Well,
mean, I was
if
gonna
it
make a
makes
joke
you
about
feel
his
any
hands
better.
being wooden. But go
Rionn
ahead, sorry.
doesn't care that he's a pumpkin.
I
Matter of
just
fact,
imagine.
I think that just makes her like him more.
You see, it's not the fact that people view him as a monster, because he was viewed as a monster when he was a human. It's the fact that no matter what, he doesn't own himself. So the outfit he chose is him having just a little bit of control over himself to feel human.
That makes sense.
The way I imagine Patch is exactly the same as the turnip head from Howl's Moving Castle. I just like imagine him bouncing around on a stick.
God, I need to watch Hell's Moving Castle.
You never seen
It's a
it?
good movie.
It's like, yeah, it's just like one of those like you just have to watch it just so you can say that you've watched it, you know?
Mm. Don't worry, I'm on that boat as well.
What is
Why?
wrong with you two?
Yeah.
I've only ever seen one Ghibli film in my life, and that's Ponyo.
Nicosia in the Valley of the Wind, and I actually still need to finish the last 15 minutes. My Netflix, I was watching it on Netflix because they all got put on Netflix, and then my account got deleted by someone. Laeya's. I think Laeya's biggest thing that she has on her. That's not like, I'm not talking about her instruments, not talking about her not talking about her weapons or whatnot. Probably the most important thing she has on her, she still has her wedding bracelet. She refuses to take it off, even though she is widowed, because she's still very much, for all her flirting and all her behaviors, she's still very much in love with her departed wife.
I feel like Rionn is the only one without a tragic backstory here.
I mean, she's fucking freaking out looking for her brother. That's tragic.
Yeah, but not near. Like, her brother is alive and she knows it.
I
I
mean,
think the
to
worst
start
thing
looking.
in
Go for it. Sorry.
I think the worst thing in Rionn's history is the fact that she's been told that she can never go back to the Enclave.
That's literally what I was about to say. To search for her brother that has gone missing, she had to essentially be kicked out of her home.
I think she would have ended up leaving eventually anyway.
Fair.
But yeah, for Rionn, that one item, so the crystal that's embedded in her staff is, one, it's a star map. It's the focus of her power. But two, it was also a gift from her brother when she became a druid. What about you, Vlad?
I already talked. What?
Yeah,
Oh, right.
The item, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I had the breach of shielding.
Right. Also, if y'all come up with questions, feel free to ask. I've got a couple of lists I'm scanning through, but
I mean, just to harken back to the vegetable one, what's for players and characters, what's everyone's favorite fruit?
Fruit
Grapes.
right now. Oh, grapes are so good. For me, I'd probably pick strawberries. I ate like half a container of it last night. Because I recently just bought on this like bottle of chocolate, and it has like a really low like freezing point, I guess. So as soon as you pour it out onto the strawberries, it hardens. So you get like instant chocolate covered strawberries at like half the price. And I
nice.
devoured almost the whole container. For my character,
Strawberries are,
probably. Oh, sorry.
yeah.
I want to say maybe like pears. I feel like pears are a good choice.
Oh, he likes pears, does he?
Oh my god.
Oh, God.
Laeya's got a lovely pair. I need to look up what they're called. Can never remember what they're properly called.
So mine would have to be trees. I have I've been known to eat enough fresh California cherries to make myself sick. Multiple times. You think I would learn my lesson, but no, I never do. Especially when we go cherry picking. But Rionn's vegetarian, so if you put something that grows in the ground in front of her, she will gladly eat it. But I think when it comes to fruit, her favorite is going to change every day. Like every time there's a different type of fruit on the table, she'll grab it and say, "Oh, yay, my favorite," just because she can.
I can see
I
that.
respect that immensely. Also, Amber, I'm the same with grapes. I could like eat like 2 whole bagfuls and get sick, and then literally the next day I'll be like, "Ooh, more grapes."
Yeah.
I have literally took a handful of grapes out off of a vine in a bag and just shoved them all in my mouth and just crunched down so the entire grape juice would just spill down my throat. Don't take that out of context,
Oh, too
ladies and
late.
gentlemen. um, I feel like if you asked Patch his favorite fruit, he would just look around and point at Laeya.
Noted. So for me, I'm also a strawberry fiend. I love strawberries. I don't buy them, but if you put them in front of me, I will just eat and eat and eat. One of my fondest memories was I was in a. This is how well traveled I am. I was in the back of a truck in Portugal with my dad's godparents, so my grandparents, I guess. We'd just gone to market, and we had an entire crate of strawberries um, in the back of the truck.
Did any of them make it home?
About half the crate. To be fair, I wasn't the only one eating from them, but I was also the one handing them all out. It was meant for everyone to consume, so it was fine. I think my grandfather was planning on planting some of them, though.
Oops.
I don't know. It's been a very long time since I've been to see them. I don't even know if they're still alive.
Probably a question we should ask eventually.
Yeah. For Laeya, I've got an interesting one. I don't know what Zane's equivalent of them would be, of the location would be, so I'm going to refer to them by some of their names. Bladder cherries, or also known as Chinese lantern, Japanese lantern, strawberry ground cherry, or winter cherry. What they are, for those of you that don't know, is they are little orange berries. They're about the size of, I want to say, a dime for American listeners. About the size of slightly smaller than about the size of a 2p coin for British listeners. But what's really cool is the leaves that encompass the fruit, because it's this little orange cherry, but the leaves look like Chinese lanterns. and you have to peel back the leaves to get to the fruit.
Interesting.
Thessalius alkakengi is the technical term for them.
All right. What's a random fact about your character that, well, either you haven't been upfront about yet or you're just still figuring out?
I think for Laeya, something that she's not had to reveal yet is that she is the second youngest of her family. She's got 3 older sisters and 1 younger brother.
Hmm.
I think to keep with the tragic backstory thing, I'd probably say that like my character had a family and had siblings, but y'all got killed in a null attack. So now he's just a lone survivor, the sole survivor.
Much like every answer I've had today, apologies. There are a few answers to this. I'd have to say his life before his death. Because I wrote down what his home life was like, and Zane told me to tone it down because there are some people in the group who have triggers involving that.
So, in other words, he had a really bad childhood.
He did not have a happy home life, no. Like little facts without getting into the triggering parts. He was a town outcast. No one in his town liked him. They despised him, in fact. Because he was just a kid who liked to play harmless jokes on people. His dad would get pissed, it would make him look bad. So stuff at home would not be good. Other things that aren't upfront. His name. Patch isn't his name. It's a nickname.
I did not know that one.
Yeah, that's because like that the unhappy home life was kind of obvious, especially when you take into consideration how he views adults deserve to die. Adults deserve what they get, but kids deserve to have a chance to be someone.
Yeah.
But Patch is not his name. It is very much a nickname he came up with.
I think it's safe to
Granted,
say
his actual name's obvious, but yeah. Anyway, go ahead.
I think something else worth mentioning that I don't know. I know Zane's hinted it once or twice. Laeya still goes by her married name.
It's not unusual when someone's widowed.
I don't know if there's any reflection on that. I don't know if it's just a case of she was willing to distance herself from her family. Like that would probably be like the genuine answer. The joke answer is it's because she was the bottom, but
I highly doubt that.
yeah. Oh no, she
That's
was
a good
probably
little toy.
she was the yeah.
Well, hold on. I mean, hold on. No, we don't know where she got that from.
Maybe they still miss their partner, and that's what they think a lot of the time.
That one's gonna live with me for a very long time. And you
I
know
don't
what?
think
It's
you're
one of
ever
the
going to live that one down.
no, and I don't want to. It's one of the few times where I'm happy that that's something that is on the internet that I've said.
Matter of fact, I'm going to ensure that when we get married, somebody throws that into a speech.
Oh god, you're gonna tell Puck, aren't you?
Oh no, worse. We're inviting the whole crew.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. You can tell who the evil one in this relationship is.
It's the Fae, not the vampire for once.
um,
The Fae acts more
I
like a vampire, and the vampire acts more like the Fae.
do not. Um, it's a running joke that I'm a fae. As a matter of fact, I have the word "fae" branded across my wrist. um, the I think for Rionn that would be so. Rionn actually is asexual. Like every time the sex jokes come up and everything, she's just kind of staring there blankly, trying to figure out why this is such a big deal.
The party makes constant horny jokes. The asexual just sitting there vibing in the room.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Um. Oh, here's a fun one. What's your character's set?
Set?
Set? What does that mean?
Scent. What do they smell
Oh,
like?
Oh,
scent. What do you
scent.
smell like? Oh god, I feel like I don't know how often do people shower back then.
Actually, believe it or not, bathing was a lot more common in medieval times than we like to believe. Than Hollywood would have us believe. Bathhouses were common. They just it's just a hassle to constantly replace the fresh water. Well, replace the bath water. Um,
I think
if I
very
recall
similar to
correctly,
Japanese bathhouses.
Mm,
You would scrub down and then you would soak.
that makes sense. I feel like
if I
my
recall,
character
also,
would be like on the road so much because they're like a traveling mercenary that they just use whatever like scented soaps the inn provides, you know. So they always
I
smell
mean,
different every time.
that makes sense. Yeah. Everybody has their own inherent smell as well. I think for Rionn, it's wind and trees and probably a little bit of her mother's baking,
I feel like after a couple days of like
especially.
not bathing, maybe it'll smell like iron or something, like metal.
Yeah.
You ever go pumpkin picking in the middle of fall, like a day after it rained, so it's all muddy and like all the plants are wet?
I think every American has done that, at least.
Just imagine a pumpkin patch that a school school takes their kids on a field trip to go pumpkin picking too. Imagine that smell in your head, and you've basically got Patch's scent down. Hell, his clothes even smell like the dry hay.
Nice. I imagine Laeya just smells like sex.
No, there's she wears a perfume. I'm trying to remember all the flipping things inside the perfume. There's hibiscus, lavender. There's
That's an
also
interesting
catnip,
combination.
catnip, and one other, which I can't remember exactly. Unfortunately, my source for this has been lost. But basically, her perfume is just full of natural aphrodisiacs. In terms of scent and magical properties. But in terms of like a natural scent, there's probably like a hint of the cave juice smell of being from the Underdark. Something to hint at her nobility. And probably something that would hint at determination. Border revenge.
Hmm.
So wet cave smell, fancy soaps, and lemons.
Yes.
Interesting. Let's see. What fictional character would you and your character be best friends with?
Hmm.
I'm gonna be
Think
100% me personally. I don't think any of the fictional characters I know of would like me.
Yeah, I
You
feel like
never
my
know.
character's kind of a loner. They don't really get along with other people.
Um, as for Patch, I feel like I don't know why, but I feel like he would vibe with Angel Dust from Hazbin Hotel. Don't ask me why, I just have a feeling.
Both are naturally chaotic, so
Yeah.
Exactly.
I think I'm gonna go. So me personally, probably Luna Lovegood. I mean, you've heard some of the weird quirky shit I come out with.
Yeah.
mhm.
And my Patronus is a Thestral, so I think she'd be one of the few people who wouldn't be afraid or pity me.
Your Patronus is a Thestral?
Yeah, my Patronus is Thestral.
So cool. I think I got like a dolphin or something. I forgot.
So officially, according to Pottermore, my Patronus is an adder, but things have happened,
Um,
and there is no doubt in my mind that my Patronus would have changed to a Thestral,
that makes sense.
especially after the last few years.
Yeah.
Uh, that being said, I think for Rionn, There's a couple that come to mind. They're all book characters. Either Dane or Becca from Tamora Pierce's Tortal world. Probably Dane. Dane's an animal speaker. But Becca just has that no nonsense, take care of people attitude to her. Or Polgara from the Belgariad, she does have that no nonsense, take care of people, but she's also got a mean streak when you piss her off. And I think we have all discovered at this point that Rionn is also developing that. What about you, Cam?
So a character that I am so a character that I would be friends with, and a character that Laeya would be friends with.
Yeah.
In terms of this is difficult. I think I'm going to go with Laeya first. And this is going to be an interesting one. I could see her being a really good friend with Lara Croft.
Oh god, that's a disturbing combination.
I could totally see the two of them vibing together. Going into, like, you know, ancient tombs and whatnot together. Trying to think if there's anyone else Laeya could potentially be friends with. That's a real person, so the answer to that is no.
No, I think we could use real people too.
In that case, I think she'd get on very well with Lindsay Sterling.
I could see it.
Yeah. And Taylor Davis. I have also just realized another character she could get on well with and help get out of the bubble, which is Elizabeth Comstock from BioShock.
I actually, her voice actress, I got to meet her a few years ago. Absolutely amazing woman. The two of us probably chatted for like an hour.
In terms of myself, though,
I think for yourself, and I'm gonna go real life with this one, Josh Gates.
yeah.
Unfortunately,
we would be a dangerous combination together. I guess what's his name? The guy who does Undiscovered Cities. Love, help.
I know exactly who you're talking about.
So Disney. The guy who was the
Albert Lin.
Albert Lin, thank you. It's Albert Lin, not Stephen Lim. Stephen Lim is someone else entirely. Stephen Lim is one of the Stephen Lim's one of the people behind Watcher. That being said, I would like to be friends with Ryan Bagar and Shane Madej.
All right. So, unless somebody else has questions, this is going to be our last one for the day. What
I may
is your
have one or two.
character's theme song?
Was that Invader?
I just said I may have one or two.
Awesome. So we will hop over to you after this one. What's your character's theme song?
I think for my character, I really like that song "Me and the Birds." It goes with that meme of like Sisyphus carrying the boulder, because it's just like just have to keep going, you know. So every time he's in like a pinch, that's just the song that starts playing in his head.
Nice.
I have two songs.
Okay.
Raised by Bats by Voltaire, as I've said in the last behind the screen. That's the song that, helped me write Batch. And that song very much fits his, like, I'm happy I'm away from the situation. I know who I am, and I'm happy about it mentality. The second song goes into his deep mindset of, I'm trapped. I got out of my bad home life, but I'm just trapped again by another abusive shit ass. And that would be, and I'm pulling from Hasman Hotel again, Poison. Just the line,
Ah,
I'm sick of the poison, wish I had something to look for tomorrow. Just fits Patch in that aspect of him too well.
Um, there's so many jokes.
so I think there's two for me. Uh the first one, and this is probably the more common one, for anybody who's watched Space Jam, the song Fly Like an Eagle was like disgustingly popular when it came out. And definitely that one. Um and then the alternative one would be Blackbird by why am I drawing a blank on one of my all-time favorite bands? This is gonna drive me crazy now. I've only seen them live like 3 times.
Name the band.
Alter Bridge. Well, the song is Blackbird.
There we
It
go.
was the band name I was trying to remember. What about Laeya?
Uh, Laeya's character song. I've got a joke answer. The joke answer being naughty, sexy, bitchy me. Have no idea who the artist is. That, or again as a joke, Boyfriend by Dove Cameron.
Okay.
In terms of an actual song for her, that's going to be a difficult one. You would think after listening to so many female singers, I would have one. I mean, there's a tiny part of me that would say, even though it's not a female singer, I would do anything for love by Meatloaf.
It's a good song.
I could just be thinking about the music video.
I will admit that one is sentimental to me on a real life level. So
I think as well another one for her would probably be, and this is going to be a deep cut one, I Will Bring You Down from The Dolls of New Albion, a steampunk opera. That
although
would
I
be
am starting to think for the group as a whole, our song is going to end up being Bodies by Drowning Pool.
because of how many bodies we're leaving behind.
I mean, the whole song is pretty much let the bodies hit the floor.
Yep. Also, I just found out what the fourth ingredient in the perfume is for Laeya.
Hmm.
So the perfume consists of hibiscus, shatavari, lavender, and catnip.
You just
Catnip.
Okay.
imagine like a
Where'd you put that
tabaxi like
in?
just rubbing up against Laeya just out of random like they're all just chilling at like a bar and just randomly a tabaxi just like goes like wide-eyed because of the catnip in the perfume.
You
I
joke.
mean,
I did that as an actual campaign scenario.
Oh my.
Um, a local farming community needed a new crop for the crop rotation. Unintentionally, the person they started using catnip, unaware of what it was, and the entire tabaxi population got high as anything.
It just makes you sad that I didn't get to play my Tabaxi character for that one shot.
there will be more. It is no longer a one shot. We will be doing occasional recording sessions in that world, partially to give our penmeister a break and a chance to play, and partly just to use as an intermission.
Yes. Karja will make a debut
And
one
I
day.
have a whole backstory for Sunny Whiskers already. I just need to get my new phone to write it.
Yep. So everybody will have a chance to meet Pause for Hire.
That's right.
Ah, I mean, it is an awesome name.
I am quickly going to change the Roll20 campaign name to that because that is just perfect. I can change it, can't I?
Uh,
There we go.
be able to. So, Invader, you said you had a couple questions for us.
I said a couple, I think it's only one, but I genuinely think it's an interesting one. Okay. So, your character. They get placed in a universe not in the D&D universe, and it's any fictional universe of your choosing. They're the same character, but now they have to abide by the rules of that universe. What world do you think you could put your character in?
Honestly,
Um,
I
And
would
how
put
would they
one.
adapt to the rules of that universe?
So, I would either put in Tortal, where she would, depending on the timing, because there are two worlds, or not two worlds, two timelines. She would either be one of the immortals, and run around with Dane during the creature wars, or she would join the dogs, the provost guard, um, as a mage. And if anyone asked about the feather, she would just tell them it was a magical accident.
I feel like my character would do pretty well in like a fucking 1900 style like detective show or something like that.
Dick
just love
Tracy.
Something like, I was going to say Inspector Morse.
I was gonna say Bioshock.
yeah, Bioshock.
I think Laeya would do very okay. There's going to be the family-friendly version, and there's the not family-friendly version. The family-friendly version, I could actually see Laeya doing very well in the Dragon Prince world setting. Like, tone down the adult stuff, up it towards her being just a mischievous trickster. I think she'd do very well as a moon elf. And then the not safe for work one, I will actually not say for legal reasons.
Legal
I-
reasons.
Cam,
It's
I
not the-
started this video with a bath salts joke.
Okay, for relationship reasons.
Fair enough.
Smart man.
Fair enough.
All right. Any other questions?
No. I didn't. I didn't give my answer. For Patch, it's gonna sound so strange. I think he could work in the Avatar: The Last Airbender universe. Now,
Actually, I
could it
see
be
that.
because I'm on an Avatar kick? Maybe, but I do genuinely think he could work and like not even have to change like his look due to the canon that when a spirit takes over someone's body, it alters their physical form in the physical plane. So he could literally just say, a spirit took over my body, and I'm like this.
I'd love to be in the Avatar universe. It's God, the
Mm,
story building and world building is so good in that show.
It is.
I
It
would
is
love to
good, but
throw Patch into Scooby Doo.
You know what's
Which,
funny? I had that answer in my head too as a joke answer.
which
It would be
one?
fun. Yes.
Are we talking?
Yes.
Oh,
What's new Scooby Doo?
Okay, because I was about to say, if you're saying he's gonna be putting Mystery Inc. there.
No, like the old school animated.
I was thinking the late 90s, early noughties, where the monsters actually turned out to be real.
Wasn't that what's new Scooby Doo?
No, those were the animated movies that like came out after like the old show
Yeah,
of like the gang as like older. You take your Zombie Island, your Cyber Chase, stuff
yeah.
like that.
What's new Scooby Doo was afterwards, and it was an attempt to sort of like bring Scooby Doo to the modern youngsters.
It was also the first time Matthew Lillard voiced Shaggy in the animated show.
Yep.
All right. I think that is all of our questions for today. Thanks for joining me, guys. For our listeners, remember, we do have a Discord. Come hang out with us, chat, and say hi. We also have an email address. If you have questions for us, you can reach us at OfDiceandPenYT@gmail.com or find us on the socials. Drop us a message. We'd love to hear from you. Yeah. Thanks for listening. We'll see y'all in Vah Ren.
Bye.
Goodbye.